Friday's show, we had some really intense discussion.
Yes, we did.
I said, Kevin Durant either needs to give you a 40-point game or he put the team on your back kind of game. Slick, you rebutted and said, but what if they win? Is that enough? I said, yes, that is enough, Kevin Durant being a contributing factor. They did. They won. Shady, they won. I'm going to give it to you. Not only did they win, KD got 39, KD got 36. What he proved to me over the weekend is he'll find a way to get it done. Kevin Durant's shot was not falling.
Right.
You please remember, he was 2 of 12 from 3 in Game 2. Through the 4 minutes of the second quarter in Game 3, his shot still wasn't falling.
Right.
I believe he was 12 of 39 over 60-plus minutes of basketball. But what did KD do? He made one pivotal adjustment. I'm going to get to the cup, and I'm going to get to the stripe. He said, if my shots ain't falling from 3, I'm going to get to the basket, and I'm going to get to the free throw line. And that's exactly what he did. He proved to me, Shady, that even when his shot's not falling, he will still find a way to impact the game to the highest degree possible. What he proved to you.
And that's what great offensive players do. If the jump shot's not working, we got to go to the cup. I got to score somehow. What Kevin Durant proved to me was that the God is back. The God is comfortable. You see him, he looks comfortable now, right? I could tell for a couple of games that, this is my opinion, I felt like he wasn't comfortable, right? He's so used to shooting efficient, offensive games, right? He wasn't shooting efficient.
Yeah.
I could see it bothering him. Where now it looks like he's just out there, I'm playing. Make or miss, I'm out here, I'm shooting. I'm helping D-Book. Him and D-Book look so good together. I mean, just watch him. Durant missing only, 7, 8 shots. Booker missing 4 shots. Watching how the ball is moving when the defense is trying to trap him or double team him, moving the ball around, getting open shots. So I love what I see, man. Kevin Durant is back and he looks comfortable.
Where you at with it, Joy?
So basically you're saying you don't respect someone unless they give you 40?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say? A little tall, I'm trying to listen. I be listening. That's kind of sound like you said that. But you'll take,
had a certain ring to it.
You'll take 39, though?
I'll take 39 and a W.
Look, KD didn't prove nothing to me. KD did not. I think that the tales of how bad KD was at the beginning of the series are slightly exaggerated.
Yeah.
I think he's being judged against himself, something that's very common for greats. We hold them to a higher standard than we would hold any other good player to.
Yep.
True.
They're not even in those games without his contributions. But it's just, this is what KD does. And he doesn't need to keep up with Booker. Like, this idea that he's like the number 2 now, or he's like, this is what Booker does. He's always done this. I see 6. All right, see, we already got started. I see it over here. So just let me finish, because I already know where you're about to go. The point is, KD is doing what he's supposed to do. If you win the game and you contribute at that level, what else do you want?
Yeah.
What else do you want?
That's good, yeah.
You're winning the game. By the way, they beat the number 1 seed in the conference. Jokic is unstoppable as usual, and they're playing defense. It's both ends of the court.
And he looked frustrated, too.
Jokic?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm doing everything.
What else could he do? He's doing everything. I felt bad for him. I'm like, man, can we just time out?
Nah, for real.
Give him a breather.
He look tired. He be wobbling. He be all tired.
How could he not? He's doing everything. He's doing everything. He's doing everything.
Nice,
and he's
too.
getting beat up. Like, it's a lot. I feel for you, my guy. I do. I really do. And especially when they're shooting like this.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think it's scary that they're starting to get in a groove. And I think it's scary that they're getting contributions from the rest of the team as well, which is happening in part because you have to pay so much attention and energy to both of them.
It was important, though, Joy, because I listen to you when you speak. I always do. And you said you needed to see more from the bench. After Game 2, the bench had an atrocious 4 points cumulatively.
Correct.
So what happened in Game 3? In the first half alone, the bench had 11 points. In the first half alone, Devin Booker had 27 points. So in Game 3, the bench did their job through the first half. Book did his job through the first half, but KD was still only 5 for 16. So that's why I was watching so attentively, because I'm like, okay, if you look at Joy's checklist, the bench, check, Book, check, but KD in that second half, to Shady's point, what he proved is, great, they'll find a way to be great. He found a way to be great. He did fill up the box score. Slit, you got a look in your eye.
Yeah. Well, what it proved to me was that KD is okay not being the number 1 option. And I'm not presenting that as a negative. Because to be okay not being the number 1 option and then still finding ways to impact the game is the mark of somebody who cares more about winning than their status.
There we go.
Right?
So I don't know why you had that devious smirk.
Well,
Unless you got some more for us.
I could have twisted it a couple different ways, but I chose to be positive. No, honestly, the question was coming out. I mean, we're always going to look back and reflect on how KD was with Russell Westbrook and how he was with Steph and how he was with Kyrie. And in all those instances, he was always the number one, unquestioned. And when he wasn't, his teammates were blamed for not making him the number one. That was always looked at as the problem.
Great point.
And here, Devin Booker, without question, is the guy who's putting the fear of God in the Denver Nuggets. When he crosses half court, they're like, oh, do we trap now? Do we trap? Okay, we're going to trap now? We got to get the ball out of his hands because he could shoot from it and score from anywhere. KD is playing off of that perfectly. He's taking the shots that are there. He's continued to be aggressive. But more important than that, if you look at his rebounding numbers, I think he had 11 in the last game. He had 6 dimes. He's doing all the little things. Got a huge block on Aaron Gordon at the end of the first half.
Yes, he did, yes.
Like, he's making plays. And to your point, Shady, he's comfortable in that role, even though it's right now secondary to Devin Booker, because really all he seems to care about is just how do we win? What do I need to do to win? And that's a little bit of a different... Maybe we always thought that might be there, but it's confirmation about where KD's heart is.
I got a question, 2-5. I got a question for you. When Steph joined KD, I got in heated debates on camera and off camera that it wasn't that Steph chose his role. It's that his role chose him at number 2. He walked onto the court with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's a walking bucket. So Steph didn't willingly say, I want to be number 2. He was forced to be number 2. I vehemently disagree. I will always disagree, always and forever, but those are the arguments I've got into. Slick just brought something up which makes me ask. I don't know if KD has chosen to defer or if his shots just aren't falling. You've played with greats, and when you play with the great and your shot isn't falling, I think KD's just kind of like, well, look, it's got to be Book. KD shot more times than Book last game. Don't get it twisted. KD just won 11 for 19 and Book won 14 for 18. So how do you see this duo playing out? 2 of the greatest scorers currently playing. How do you see it working?
From the Warriors to the Suns, the difference between, I think, Steph and Book is Steph can play any role. Off the ball, right? Maybe get the ball pass, I'll shoot later on. Where I feel like Booker is just an assassin. Like, he wants to shoot the ball. That's him. That's what he's always been. KD, whoever he played with, he's just an aggressive scorer. And I think with him and KD, if you really watch the game, I can't pick who's the 1 or the 2. I see 2 offensive greats that are playing aggressive. Right? Now, people can pick at which one is what.
Well,
but
I know who's being treated like the one.
I just feel like you're saying that because of the production that Booker's giving out.
No, it's by how Denver is playing. Denver is saying, we need to take Booker away and we'll live. And that's one of the reasons why Durant has more shots, because they're trapping the ball out of Booker's hands and daring KD to get it done. And he's finding different ways to get it done.
But hold up now. I see them trying to trap Kevin Durant too, though.
At times, but not the same, not as much.
I mean, because, well, right now.
And how much of that is when Booker is on the floor
But that's why I said Booker's hot right now. So if it's Joel Embiid or if it's Harden, right, whoever's the hot hand, you go with. I don't care who the stars are, right? If you think Kevin Durant's better than Booker or better offensively, it don't matter. Whoever's the hot hand, you got to take them away. So when you go to take Booker, he's the hot hand, you leaving Kevin Durant to have more shots.
Here's my question, though, Joy. How long can they keep this up? Because it's really unheralded. You said, I believe it was 30 minutes ago, you were like, what Devin Booker is doing is unfathomable. It literally is. I believe Devin Booker, Elgin Baylor, Akeem Olajuwon shooting 80% from the field through 8 games in the playoffs. I believe I heard that statistic earlier over the course of the weekend. Devin Booker, Akeem, Elgin Baylor. Well, Akeem, by the way, is 7'1". So, like, him shooting 80%, clearly impressive. Clearly impressive.
Big man, too.
But Devin Booker doing it, especially his shot selection, seems a little bit more difficult. Again, no disrespect. Can they keep it up? How long can they keep it up? 36-36, that's hard to do. 39, game 3 for KD, hard to do. What do you anticipate?
Well, I think they can keep it up. This is not a new Booker. I mean, this is somebody that scored 70 points in a game before. Like, this is not a new version of Devin Booker.
Yeah.
It is a slightly different version of KD, I will give you that. Because why would you get in the way of that? Why would you bother to try and disrupt what Booker is doing? It doesn't make sense. This is the way they should play. and whether it's the one or the two, or obviously Booker is going to be the person that the defense is paying the most attention to because he's shooting at that clip.
Yeah.
But KD is playing both ends of the court as well. So when you're talking about how Kevin Durant is contributing to these wins, you can't just focus on his shooting. We always want to default to that because that's what's exciting and that's what pops on the box score. Sure. But you mentioned the blocks and the assists and the rebounds. All of that matters as well when you're talking about a stat line and when it comes to winning. So the adjustments that they're making, and of course the contributions of everyone else that has to be on the court with them when the defense is doing their best to take them away as an option, which they're going to do. Like Denver is a good team as well. Jokic is a big defensive presence. So the way that they're all coming together and playing as a team, I do think is sustainable because you're giving these role players availability as well. And if they step up, which every team needs them to do. The Warriors need role players to step up. The Heat need role players to step up. The Lakers need role players to step up. It's just, especially when you're as top heavy as the Suns are, that's going to play a role in it. But if your top two guys are consistently doing what they need to do, that gives the rest of everyone else an opportunity to do that. So I think that they're coaching very well, they're playing very well, they're clicking at the right time. I do think it's sustainable because these are two greats. Like we're not worried about minutes. Not worrying about exhaustion. Like I'm not worried about that with this team at this particular time.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, they're 40 plus, both of them. They're carrying heavy loads. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I do think that we are seeing a different Booker. Booker at a time when he would get trapped like that would want to prove, no, I can beat it, I can score. Now, some of that's probably because he's got Kevin Durant. He's like, I don't have to. But I love how these two are playing off of each other as number ones who have been together for what, a couple months?
Yeah, right.
And I couldn't help but, as you were talking, thinking about the KD-Kyrie combination.
What it could have,
But what it wasn't, right? And how much more mature this combination is than that combination in every way, because they're not just trying to do it offensively, but they're doing what they need to do defensively. And that goes not just for KD, but Booker as well.
Yeah. Is this because obviously the Nets combination of KD, Kyrie, Harden, that combination fell incredibly short. Why then, Slick, break down the nuances very quickly for the viewers so they can understand as well. Why is this pairing working at least 4 games into the semifinals? Why is this pairing working?
Because Booker is recognizing, I think he's just playing a much more mature floor game as a floor general than we've ever seen, than I've ever seen Kyrie play. Kyrie's always been a great scorer, but he never took that next step of, I'm going to organize and utilize all the pieces around me. That's what I see Booker doing. And quite honestly, this is why I thought they would be in big trouble without Chris Paul, because he's always been that organizer, and Booker has not. He's never shown this capability to before. And I dare say it, they look better without Chris Paul right now.
Look much faster.
And defensively better. I mean, all the way around, and I'm going to give a huge credit to Booker for that.
No doubt about that. Well, I just heard in regards to this series, interesting news. No suspension for the Joker. Remember, he got into that tussle, but he did get a $25K fine. Maybe the Suns owner will pay for it.
You should.
He got involved.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.